Hello everybody, how are you? We are on week 6 and we are in the middle of a big snowstorm. I deleted my other video because I had put a person's name in there, first name, that was wrong. So this week we're talking about child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, and warning signs. We're going to be looking at high profile cases and how they affected police, how they affected society. So when you're looking at the high-profile cases, I'm just going to give you some heads up on some people you can use. You could use, for sexual assault, you could use the church cases. You could use Elizabeth Smart, which is also a child abuse case. Domestic violence, Tracy Thurman, the having to do with the Torrington decision. You could do what they call the Framingham 8, which would have been 8 women that had their cases overturned. So you might want to look and find one that suits what you want to do. Make it so it's interesting to you. Jeffrey Dahmer, very interesting, bizarre case. When you look at Jerry Sandusky, another pretty bizarre case. I was involved in quite a few of those cases. One of them had to do with the Mariners junior baseball coach who had sexually assaulted, the 13-year-old boys for 20 years. And finally came to light with a kid in my community, actually, that gave a statement. He was arrested, and he committed suicide, so it never went to trial, but it was a pretty big case because it encompassed 20 years of him being a coach. So we have a lot of cases out there that you can pick from. Find one that suits what you'd like. When you're doing it, it should include the history and the timeline of the acts, what brought the crimes to the attention of law enforcement, the investigative methods that were used to investigate the crime. Was there a prosecution? Was there a conviction? What was the significance of the evidence? And we are a society that loves evidence. Not always easy to find when you're doing a 20-year-old case and it involves something that didn't leave any evidence. What was the impact of the crime, the victims, and other surroundings in the investigation? Is there any other information that you believe should have considered during the investigation and prosecution? When you're doing this paper, it's 6 to 8 pages using the APA style. You're required to cite your sources and a minimum of 2 sources. You should have an opening page, a closing page, which will be your sources, and 6 to 8 pages of content. So you have to have 6 to 8 pages of total content. It's 200 points. You can use the cumulative assignments should encompass the breadth of the contents of this course. This should be very interesting to you. I can give you just a little sign of one of the cases that I had over the years. And whether you liked Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton, it didn't matter. But I can tell you, after incidents with Monica, people started saving evidence because people wanted evidence. So you'd have people that would save the shirt or we used to call it save the dress. They would save something of evidence so they could show you, see, this did happen. We never had that happen before. When we used to meet with all our sexual assault investigators, we saw a big turnaround when that happened. And it was actually people realizing that people want evidence. Not always good when it comes to sexual assault, because not always is there any evidence in a sexual assault that's maybe 10, 15 years old. So, I wish you all well with this. I wish you a warm day today, and I hope you all stay safe. If you could today also, if you could put in do the evaluation, that would be great. Also, if you have any questions, you have any worries, I'm home all day. I'm going to try and get somebody else. Actually, he's out there doing my snow blowing now. So feel free to call me at 413-883-3537. Thank you. Be safe.